exclusively. The Aditya Birla Group chairman Kumar Mangalam Birla says the creation of this behemoth is actually a play on the Indian growth story. Nisha, Poddar as well as Kritika, Saxena sat him down and started by asking the rationale and the contours of this restructuring.
The financial service business, as part of the whole construct of this restructuring, gets listed, and we hope to list it by sometime middle of next year. So that in itself is a huge value unlocking proposition for both the sets of shareholders, of Grasim as well as for Nuvo. Other than that, you're creating a behemoth that actually is a play on the India growth story. So if you believe in the India growth story, then this is a company that you would want to watch, you'd want to invest in. You've got a very interesting mix of businesses, some that are throwing up cash, some that are fast growing. You've got a very healthy mix of manufacturing and services in the basket.
Yeah.
So it's well thought through. We believe that it's going to create value for both sets of shareholders. If you look over the last few years as far as Nuvo goes, we've unlocked value by spinning off carbon black, we've unlocked value by spinning off fashion. So this is very much in keeping with that theme. It's not really out of the blue.
So, Mr. Birla, of course, right now the way economics is panning out, these are challenging times for most of the big conglomerates in the country. And we just saw that one of the large conglomerates just finished a merger process. And it went on for about a year because the shareholders weren't happy. And the promoters had to sweeten the deal. In such a scenario, of course, you haven't reached out to the shareholders. We will know from tomorrow on what really dialogue goes on. But if there is more concern coming in from the Grasim shareholders, are you also open to the idea of probably sweetening or revisiting the deal at all?
Not really. So we are coming from a place of conviction where we believe, like I said, that this is value accretive for both sets of shareholders.
Yeah.
The valuation has been done independently by two very reputed firms. We also have two firms that have done a fairness opinion on the valuation that has been done. So I don't believe that there is a case or that we'd even want to revisit what we've announced today.
Okay. I'm glad you clarified that, sir. And one more important clarity that you gave in the press conference was the fact that there won't be any added exposure to IDEA. But are you ruling out the possibility that, you know, it gives you a stronger case to be able to aid IDEA? Would this not be a benefit for IDEA in a broader sense?
So, you know, I think that confusing this transaction with IDEA is a misnomer. I don't think that this transaction per se has anything to do with IDEA. Just to put things in perspective, IDEA has invested almost 20,000 crores in the last 10 years with practically no fresh promoter funding. So they've reached out to a private investor, they've reached out to a strategic investor, they've raised funding through issuing QIPs. So there really is no need for IDEA to bank on this newco for funding its own aspiration. It's a strong, financially strong and a distinct legal entity.
So IDEA is
its own plans.
So IDEA is one entity which may require cash, and you will look forward to that. Not particularly from Grasim is what you're explaining. But what about the insurance, the NBFC business?
So we've clearly said that, you know, this entity will own about 57 to 58% of the financial services business. So obviously, this is a growth engine in terms of providing finance, providing funding for the financial services business. I mean, that is something that we've said very upfrontly.